This isn't working. Okay.
Alrighty.
Yes.
Welcome to the Power Chamber podcast.
The only PCP celebrating 32 years of Power Rangers.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been a long road to get here for sure.
Yeah, you're telling me. Oof.
But we made it, so it'll be fine. But
Finally.
yeah,
32
I don't know if
years.
you can
That's an
tell, but
insane amount of time. Woof.
yeah, it's been quite a journey. Right now, the series is in a bit of a standstill as we wait for Disney's big move.
I was gonna say,
Outside of
but
like the whole.
people are still clamoring for Power Rangers content. You know what I mean?
That's true. I did see because they made that push for like reignition, which happened like this or like a month ago, I think. And I think
Yeah.
I did see some fans complaining that they were concerned or they were annoyed that the what they said was the Zero Ranger suits or the MMPR suits are the ones that are associated with the brand again.
Yeah. Which I get it to an extent.
Yeah.
But there's been so many different Power Ranger series over the years, and the good and the bad. You know what I mean? Like, because I would argue there probably been as many bad seasons as there have been good seasons. I should probably know since we ranked them a while back.
Yeah. I would say that there's more bad than there is good, but
You think
I mean
so?
that's just my opinion. Yeah.
Well, in honor of that'll probably lead us into it because in honor of the 32nd anniversary of Power Rangers, I scoured Reddit and looked up a whole bunch of questions that I think the Ranger Nation would like to hear your thoughts on. In particular, you being a pretty prominent figure in the community.
Sure. Yeah, we can talk about that.
So to lead into it, why, with all the good and the bad, especially you saying there's more bad than good in the series in general, why do you think Power Rangers has lasted so long to the point where people are still clamoring for Ranger content?
Well, I think that there's two factors. Mostly, the first one is that when the Power Rangers boom happened, like that was a cultural phenomenon.
Yes.
And when something hits that status, it's very hard to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Like you have to expressly kill it, or at least stop putting the show out, which they have done. So, and even then, people are so used to seeing it every year that even now that we're at a bit of a lull, people are still talking about it's built enough of a fan base. And the other second part of that is like nostalgia sells. Everybody grew up with this show, man. That's crazy. Like no matter who you are, you grew up with this show.
I've always compared Power Rangers to like professional wrestling, and even in that sense, like everybody has seen this show at some point. Everybody knows what it is, what it's about, how it functions. Like it's been around for forever. Like you got to know, what the Power Rangers are if you're an American at the very least. And that kind of, I didn't want to talk about it earlier, but I was thinking about it like the Japanese, like it's a national Power Rangers Day. It's not like a worldwide thing because the Japanese, to my understanding, don't really care about Power Rangers. They have Super Sentai, but like Power Rangers fans often talk about Super Sentai, at least on the subreddit.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think it's a culture shock thing. Once you find out that this show was Frankenstein together from the Sentai stuff, I think that it's a lot for people to take in, and so it's like, oh, okay, well, if it's from a different culture, I should probably explore that a little bit more and kind of see what that's about.
Yeah.
And then you get into the whole debate of like what is better, Sentai or Power Rangers, and yeah.
And I do think it's gotten a little bit more commonplace over the years, especially with just information and technology being a lot more available than it was back then. Especially, like people are able to explore it a little bit more.
Yeah, that's true for sure.
Sorry, I'm trying to think. If that,
No, it's fine. That was a fun question.
yeah, no, I like it a lot. My next
Was
question.
that one of yours, or was that one that you got from Reddit?
That was one of mine. That
Okay,
I
okay.
thought was going to be like a good starting question for this podcast. Kind of give us a little bit of a feel of what this
For
would
sure,
be
yeah.
like for
Solid
today.
lead in, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think so. You and I have two different series that we would call our favorites. I think we
Yes.
both like both of these franchise or both of these shows individually, but
Mm-hmm.
just out of curiosity, because we talk about our favorite shows a lot, but like, what do you think was the moment that solidified your favorite season? And go ahead and let everybody know what it is while you're while you're talking about it, because for those people who don't know.
So for a long time, my favorite season has been In Space for sure. I just think
Yeah,
that show for what it did as far as like bringing everything together. It was a very solid, like it was an anniversary season before they started doing like anniversary seasons.
right.
So I think in that way it was very like at least well put together, well constructed. As far as the moment, just because I've watched it so many times, I feel like the moment is actually Chase into Space.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was the moment there was like, oh, this is a game changer.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
this
that's
is
true.
actually good. This is gonna be something, isn't it? And when you go from Chase into Space into From Out of Nowhere, and you have such like a solid foundation for which to work on, and the show kind of like expands on all that stuff from there. I just think it's very solid for sure.
Yeah, that's fair. I do think that if that be the case, then Turbo is your favorite season, and that's just embarrassing.
Hey, man! I'm just saying, man, because Chase into Space is a part of. I've realized this as I've
It's the
started to
Turbo
rewatch the
finale.
show. It's a part of like you really need that. You at least need those two episodes to kind of lead us into In Space. To at least so
Yeah,
you can understand like the stakes and the tone, because the tone of that, and I told you this a few days ago, like
that's fair.
the tone of Chase into Space is way different from the rest of that season, the
That's
rest
very
of
true.
Turbo.
Yeah,
So eh, to just kind of it has to be that kind of jumping off point. I mean, you can start with From Out of Nowhere. It does a decent enough job with filling in the gaps. They still were doing the previously on. So,
yeah,
but I do think that like to really like get in the mood, you need to watch Chasing the Space first.
yeah. Okay, that's fair. I guess.
Just saying, man. My other suggestion for that was either going to be it was going to be the Shell Shocked, which is the Ninja Turtles episode,
Yeah,
just as it's being like wildly different. Like, oh, we're not in Kansas anymore. This is just
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Or it's going to be Always a Chance, because Always a Chance is great, where Adam makes his big return.
All right. Yeah, yeah. See, I remember that pretty vividly. Of course,
Yeah,
that show
yeah.
is just really well written, just all the way through. I really like it. I don't care if it's almost a straight rip off of Mega Ranger.
It's
I say
not
almost.
though. We watched Mega Ranger. It's very
Yeah,
different.
and a lot of the episodes are very, very much the same. It's just copy
That's
paste.
that's true. A lot of the filler episodes, quote unquote
Yeah,
filler, because
quote. Yeah,
Sin
there's
Space
not
doesn't
really a
have
filler.
filler.
Yeah,
But
not really.
a lot of the more like episodic plots are taken directly from Sentai. So I understand that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I like Mega Ranger a whole lot. I don't think I like it more than Ginga Man, and I certainly don't like it more than Diet Angel, but I like
No,
Mega
no,
Ranger.
that's true. That's true. Mega Ranger, especially with like that ending and how like down we were about it, as far as like it didn't make a whole lot of sense. I
Yeah.
think you and I are
Yeah.
both on the same page of like Ginga Man is better and Diet Ranger is better.
Yeah. I do think it's still the most Power Ranger Sentai that we've seen. In that,
For
they're
sure, for
they're high
sure.
school
Because
students.
Exactly. Yeah, there was teenagers with attitude for sure.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that was one of my. I think if I'm hard pressed to pick a moment from Jungle Fury, it's
Yeah.
definitely got to be uh, when Casey's on his way to fight Daishi one on one, and he has that conversation with Master Mao.
It's a really good scene.
It's awesome. It's one of those
It, it,
again. We're
it
not in Kansas
yeah,
anymore, dude. This is drastically different.
absolutely. It's funny because like I've watched that scene so many times, and the vibe coming off of it is so different from like everything else that we've seen
Yeah.
up until
Oh
this
man.
point.
Especially having it follow Overdrive. My God, what the
Yeah.
junk. More
Well,
people need to
yeah.
see this show.
The series is based on like we got to do the peaks and valleys. You know, you got to
Yeah,
hit your low before you can get to super high.
I guess so. And that is
Or
kind
in
of
the case
pretty.
of Ninja Steel and Beast Morphers, you got to hit really low and then do just a bit better.
Yeah. I think we
Yeah,
don't. I still think we don't give Beast Morphers enough credit, but yeah, I don't think it's on the level of like Jungle Fury or even Space, because for Space to follow
absolutely
Turbo,
not.
yeah,
Absolutely not. Yeah,
low, way up.
exactly. Yeah.
So, um, and I see a lot on the Reddit of people being like, if you were in charge of a Power Rangers show or an MMPR
Hmm.
reboot is the one that makes like the most common appearances. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not nearly as interesting as like, because I've seen people make like Pokemon Power Coins that are freaking awesome. Or
Oh
like
yeah, that sounds pretty cool
I
actually.
came I came across one that was like the MonsterVerse, Godzilla, Mothra, Rodan, all that stuff.
Oh
Like
yeah.
those would be sick, but like if you had the option to make a Power Rangers franchise out of like cryptids or creatures of any kind, what would you
Hmm.
pick?
That's a tough one, man.
Yeah,
The
I
reason it's
asked the
tough is
hard
because
question.
so much of this so much of my tastes are because of this show. So it's
Yeah,
hard for me to be like, okay, well, what would I do? Like, what would say that this is me that I can imbue into this show? Uh, it'd be tough. To be honest with you, like I wouldn't mind if, and I realize that this is a little bit of cheating, but if Ninjago went full Power Rangers, just took the extra step into like the henshin stuff,
I don't
I
think
think
that's
that would be really
necessarily
fun.
cheating, but yeah, I
Yeah,
agree. That would be a lot of fun, and it's
yeah, for
already so
sure.
close. Like, just pull the trigger. Who cares?
Exactly. They have mechs. They do martial arts. All
Yeah,
you really need is just
they've got their
the
primary
morph
colors. Come
sequence
on,
and the
man.
costumes. That's all you got. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, I think it would be cool. I did see one. Like, I'm still. First of all, I'm still waiting for Jam Injures to take off and become a like full fledged idea. Because man, music
Oh
based Power
yeah,
Rangers,
yeah.
I want it so bad. But
Yeah, it could be fun for sure.
I
We
thought,
kind of had that. It's funny because like so much of Power Rangers, and this might be just a Japanese thing, but so much of like Super Sentai is based on like music. Because you have like the Dragon Flute and the Ninja Steel Samurai guitar and the play the wrong note, you must hate me. There's so much music in this show.
that's very
Ravi
true.
playing his guitar with when he got his arm blown off,
Yeah.
or Javi,
Well,
sorry.
this isn't this isn't one of the questions, but what is your favorite music moment from Power Rangers?
Hmm. Hmm. Favorite music moment.
Yeah, because there are a lot of bad music moments in this show.
For sure, for
Avi,
sure.
Avi not knowing how to play a harmonica. The dude's never even seen a harmonica, and you can tell.
I would say just because of how iconic it is, man, when Tommy calls the Dragon Zord, it's got to be you got to give it to him.
It's not a moment, though, is my argument.
Oh, that is just constantly used.
Correct.
You not just a singular moment. Okay, well, for a singular moment, Yeah, that one's a little bit tougher.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna go with
You know what,
Dino
man?
Charge
Oh, really?
with
Which
Shelby and
one?
Tyler doing
Doing the
their
audition?
End Dead Boy audition. Yeah.
It was pretty good for sure.
Well, it's just so nice to see those two interact, and you really root for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. You do really root for them. I think. You know what? I had one, and then it just went away.
Sorry.
No,
We can
it's
get back
fine.
to it. Right?
No, it's fine. I can. I think I can get it back. But oh yeah, no, I was gonna say that Kira's performance
Oh yeah.
during prom at the end of Dino Thunder is pretty good.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
I like
I
that. I
can
like
accept
that one
that
a lot for sure.
for sure. For sure. All right. Well,
And
that's
then you have the sister moment, Kimberly playing the guitar. That happened one time. I mean, granted, they were singing about like equality and yeah,
be sure to recycle. Um, because
exactly.
it's always about recycling. I don't know what it is, man. Save the earth.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, yeah. I mean, it was the
well,
'90s. Ted
yeah,
Turner was really into environmentalism.
for some reason,
That's really all it
and he hated
was.
Vince
Captain
McMahon.
Planet. Yes. Yeah.
But okay, so that'll kind of lead us into the next one for the '90s Power Rangers. Do you think that the Zordon era is the golden age of Power Rangers?
I don't.
I don't think so either.
Somebody asked me this question because I have Power Rangers playing while I'm at work,
Yeah,
and I have people ask me this. I had somebody ask me this: "What's your favorite era of Power Rangers?" And I really do think that like post Zordon era, before we got to the Disney stuff, like the
yeah.
uh,
Lost Galaxy
like
to
Lost
Time Force.
Galaxy to Time Force, like that was a solid, very
Yeah,
solid collection of shows, and I think that
absolutely.
that kind of that show or those shows like they kind of moved away or at least matured some of the campier elements from like the 90s stuff,
Yeah,
and they made it more solidified, more believable in terms of like story, to where things aren't silly, they're believable within the show's logic, and so
right.
that makes everything kind of a little bit more digestible and enjoyable. And I've always said that like that it feels like the show grew up. You know, the
Yeah.
show in and of itself grew up into what it all could be, and
Well,
then
we did step away from the teenagers with attitude formula at that point as
yeah,
well.
yeah, we that's true. Because
It's like their job.
after after they graduated, or really after Turbo, we didn't really get back to teenagers with attitude until
Ninja Storm.
I was gonna say, would you count Ninja Storm? They're not in school, and even then, there's this whole thing with Shane and his brother about like, you're not in college, you're a failure. You know?
No. I tried to rewatch the show. I couldn't do it. I got 11 episodes
Oh
in.
yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. That you really tried,
I
and
tried.
then it just went away.
It's awful, is the point.
Yeah.
But no, they are supposed to be students. That's the whole thing. That's why they're at the Wind Ninja Academy, is because
No, no,
they're
no.
students.
I know they're supposed to be martial artists, and like the
It's a
whole thing is that
workaround.
it
Sure.
it's a little bit of a thing because they are supposed to be basically the Ninja Turtles. Like that's how they're
Right.
written.
Yeah.
But I mean, you kind of need like because we
Still
don't
don't
really
believe
get
that.
back to the school stuff
Dino Thunder?
until we get to Dino Thunder. Yeah. And even then,
I
like
think
we take a minor pit stop there, and then we go immediately back to adults. I mean, granted, they're younger in SPD
an
than
FPD,
like
right.
because they're still like trainees basically.
Right. Gosh, that's true. We didn't really do a
But
whole
they're
lot of
not
high school student stuff in the
not
Disney
really,
era
no.
either.
No.
Not
Yeah,
until we got to
they kind of yeah, they
I
kind of
was
moved
gonna
away from
say
that stuff.
I was gonna say until we got to Samurai, but that's That's also kind of not true.
Yeah, they're at a samurai camp, but they're not in school.
All right. Weird.
Yeah, there's not even a mention of school. I think because we finally fully got back to it because like we have Ninja, we have Mega Force, and then after that we go back to it on Ninja Steel.
Right. I was going to
Because
say
like
we
you were
skip
saying, as
over
far
it
as
in Dino Charge, and we
yeah,
did talk about this the other day. How they're not really
yeah,
they're not in high school. They're not even like teenagers. They work at the museum.
yeah,
Except for Tyler, who's explicitly stated that he's 18 because of like his dad disappearing when he was 8 for 10 years. So like,
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
and like Shelby also has to be on the younger side because they have to be roughly the same age for that romance to work. And then,
Well, yeah, I mean, she's also like freshly out of school, and her dad wants to give her a push to go to study business in college.
yeah,
So
business, numbers. Jesus Christ.
exactly.
Uh, so all right, going off of that. Um, oh, this is a good one. How do you feel going back to the Zordon era for just a second?
Hmm.
Even after the Zordon era, really, how do you feel about Rocky and TJ getting demoted from red to blue in their respective follow-up seasons?
Um, I'm a little bit more accepting of it as far as Rocky's concerned because
I mean, okay,
the thing is that the Red Ranger is supposed to be the leader. That is kind of like the gimmick, right? That's always how
no,
it's supposed to be. The Red Ranger is supposed to be the
no,
leader, and
no, it isn't.
by the time that Rocky shows up, Tommy's the leader, and
Right,
so his
as
vibe
the
more
White
or less
Ranger, though.
fits. Yeah, no, I know that, but I'm just saying that like his vibe more or less fit like a background ranger, kind of like you're not supposed to be the leader guy.
Right.
You kind of fit better in blue, you know?
You can kind of argue the same thing with Austin St. John after Tommy takes
Mm.
the mantle of leader, takes the mantle. He's given it on a silver platter. But like
For sure, for sure, for sure. Yeah.
the implication is that the White Ranger is supposed to be the leader now, which is why oh gosh, I can't remember her name. Saruhime from Kaku Ranger was supposed to be the leader, but it ended up having to be the Red
Oh,
Ranger.
Kai. Yeah. Or
Yeah.
no, Sasuke. Sasuke is his name.
Okay, that's right.
Oh, no, because she's still the leader. He's just the one that takes charge of the situation more often than not.
Like a leader. Jesus Christ.
No, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I'm just saying that like for like Rocky's vibe never felt like Red Ranger to me. He never felt like he could refill the shoes of Austin St. John when he left. And so
Nobody could though.
him going from red to blue, that made a little bit more sense, you know?
Yeah.
And I will say, like, as far as Selwyn Ward playing TJ going from red to blue, I mean, it works more in the sense that like the Blue Ranger is supposed to be the second in command, and so if he is the second in command and he's kind of like the bridge between Andros the alien and the rest of the Earth Rangers,
Okay. Yeah.
so like it makes a little bit more sense. I mean, granted, TJ doesn't really. He only takes charge, I think, a couple of times in space. I mean, granted, they're great moments for sure,
I was gonna say, I
but
think it makes a little more sense in space because Andros shows up as the Red Ranger. So that spot's already filled.
that's true. Yeah, he is solo Red Ranger at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. It's
yeah,
the
that's a
common
good point.
writer.
That's a fair point. And you have TJ who is replacing Jason
Justin.
David Frank, Tommy
Uh,
Oliver, who's like the biggest Ranger guy. And like, how is he ever supposed to fill those shoes? Granted, I will say the show got better once they got rid of the veterans. Once everybody was on equal footing, it made
yeah.
things at least slightly easier to swallow. The show was still very dumb, but at least it was like, okay, well, nobody that I've seen deal with like heartbreak is still here, so this is
Yeah.
fine.
I am curious though, just going off of that conversation onto a question
Hmm.
that's it's actually on the list. Uh how did this was something that somebody asked, and I really couldn't answer it. Like, how did Adam get so popular being the Green Ranger, being who was essentially supposed to be a background ranger role, but he ends up taking charge a lot of the time too.
I think that the like as I was saying, man, I think Always a Chance did a lot for Adam's character. Like him coming in there and being like the veteran ranger to help out Carlos when he's like at a low point, and talking about like all of the doubts that Rangers feel, and how he wants he wants to be a Power Ranger again, and he tries to use the Mastodon Morpher. I think that like that episode and the way that he's utilized is so well written that I think it put a lot of stock into his character. Because like again, like you were saying before, then he is just and he will even admit this that JYB will admit that he is just the background guy. You know,
right? Yeah,
he's the guy that's supposed to be hanging in the background. He's not really supposed to do much, but that episode puts him center stage. And so that just puts a lot of stock into the character. And then you go on a little bit later to Once and Always, or no. Once a Ranger, where he's like leading the team as the veteran Black Ranger.
Right.
That also helped too. So I think seeing him outside of arguably the worst shows, because I do think that Zeo is horrifically boring and Turbo is really stupid.
I still like Car Ranger, but I know
Car Ranger's really fun. Yeah. But a lot of the stuff that they do in Turbo, that the episode plots were like brain dead.
Right.
Well, like all the stuff that they were asking for, like because it was like, oh, okay, this is for a younger audience. I see. So I think seeing them outside of that, because I do think that like the same thing kind of happened with JDF. Granted, he still had the Green Ranger and White Ranger stock, but yeah, the stuff that he does in between then, like the Zeo and being the Turbo Ranger, like that stuff's kind of forgettable, and then everybody remembers when he came back for Dino Thunder.
That's
like
true.
that put a certain amount of stock into his character. And I think the same is true for Adam, and the fact that nobody else really did that up until that point, that's probably why a lot of people, kind of consider Adam to be, at least, if not the best, like the second best Ranger of all time.
That's crazy to think about, because the next time we see him was in Once and Always, and only briefly, like an extremely brief, almost a cameo, really. But he didn't come back for like the Ninja Steel anniversary special, which everybody was in, which I thought was wild. I still think that's crazy how many people they were able to get back for that episode in particular.
Yeah, I will say, like, it was pretty nice to see Rocky back. Yeah, even though that's the first time he'd used the Dino Morpher in like a long time. Yeah,
still not sure where they got those, but that'll be a discussion.
The Morphin Masters.
Yeah,
the Morphin Masters.
They're on the list. Trust me. I'll bring it up. But talking about how Power Rangers is sometimes written for a more mature / younger audience, a lot of the times, like I don't know if it's necessarily I don't know if that's necessarily a metric for how good a season's going to be, just based on what audience it's written for. But somebody asked, and I had to write this down because it's such a ridiculously oxymoronic question. Is Power Rangers on the same level of maturity as Marvel, DC, Star Wars, etc.? And my first initial reaction was, all of these are made for children.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I guess it would depend, and that's a good point, because like we were just talking about as far as Power Rangers, like Batman, Marvel, Star Wars, those went through eras also.
That's true.
So like it just kind of depends, because I've always said, as far as like Star Wars is concerned, it really depends on like what draws you in. That's why everybody involved in the Star Wars fandom seems to hate Star Wars is because they're all in there for different reasons and they like different
No.
things. I was actually
Okay.
really surprised at the amount of people that were on board with like Andor, even though it's not like I understand that it's really well made, but it's not my cup of tea as far as like Star Wars is concerned. So,
Sure.
but yeah, no, it's just kind of based on eras because like there's a lot of people that like really love the Adam West Batman stuff, but then there's like a lot of people that also really dig the Nolan trilogy and like even the darker and grittier stuff that's shown in the Batman
Yeah.
grittier. Sorry, but yeah, no,
The
it just
Tim
kind of
Burton
depends,
stuff.
man.
No, I get
Yeah,
that.
exactly. So you're right in the sense that it is the same level playing field because
Yeah.
they're all different depending on the time.
Right. Yeah. And that's what I was saying before for like why this show has lasted for so long is because it does go through eras and evolves with the times a lot of the time. I do think the Neo Saban
For the most
era,
part, yeah,
the fatal flaw of the Neo Saban era was trying to do the same thing again
yeah.
instead of trying to do
No,
something that would resonate with audiences today.
exactly. Yeah, I think that it's very interesting to me that when Neo Saban, like when that show came back, was around the time that Ninjago was really starting to pop off. And Ninjago was able to like modernize a lot of the stuff that worked in MMPR.
Yep.
Whereas the Neo Saban, like they were just so stuck in like we got to make sure that we got to make this show exactly the way that we used
Yeah.
to.
Let's do Day of the Dumpster again.
Without like any kind of thought brought into like how things are different, how times have changed, how the landscape of television changed.
Yeah.
Instead, they're like, we got to do this the way that we've always done it.
Yeah. We know what
I
works.
exactly, and I do think that kind of did shoot them in the foot, and it was
Absolutely.
so bizarre to me because like I never understood why you would even try to do that because, like I said, Ninjago was doing a lot of that stuff and it was doing it really well. So all you
Yeah.
really needed to do was copy their homework and you would have had a success. Absolutely.
I think so too. But like, it just seemed like a ridiculous question to me, so I had to
No,
write it
I
down. I was
agree.
like, this
No,
has to be
I
done.
agree because yeah, I will say as far as that stuff is concerned that Marvel did turn into Power Rangers for
Yeah.
like a hot
Yeah, they
second.
did.
It
Oh yeah.
was like the Marvel movies, like they were literally doing like morph sequences and
Yeah. There are 3 in Infinity War.
Zed and Rita are like in 2 different movies. It's bizarre.
It's crazy. And it's awesome.
Yeah,
Just make a Power Rangers movie already. Jesus
that's why
Christ.
I'm saying like you can pull this off. I know you can. The ingredients are there, but nobody's
Yeah.
been able to like put all of them together into like one cohesive whole.
It's very strange. Yeah.
It was funny because I was rewatching the '95 movie and the Turbo Power Rangers movie, and I realized that all these movies, like all 3 of the Power Rangers movies, they without a doubt or without your opinion on like level of quality, we can all pretty much agree all of those Megazord sequences are awful.
Yeah,
All 3 of them are just awful.
that's true. I do like the morph sequence
Because
or the Megazord sequence in Once and Always, though. They nailed it.
yeah, no, it looks exactly the same, and they just kind of touched it up, redid the graphics. It looks
Yeah.
pretty cool. I think people hate it though. I don't know why. People hate Once and Always. I don't get it.
What?
Yeah,
That's
people
so
hate Once and
bizarre.
Always, man. Yeah.
I got together with a group of people. We just started watching it randomly, just because we were screwing around. Like we watched an episode of Bluey, and that was fun. And then like I told them throw on Once and Always. It's on Netflix, and they threw it on. And we watched like the first 5 or 6 minutes where Trini dies, and what's her name? The
Min.
daughter. Min finds out that the whole thing, and everybody's like, "What the hell?" Like, what is this
Yeah, dude.
show? And I'm like, yeah, we go hard and Once and Always. I don't know what people hate it. I've
Yeah.
never heard that. That's
Yeah.
fascinating.
Well, whenever I hear people talk about it, it's never in like a positive light.
It's so weird. See, I would
Yeah.
hold that up to at least a mid-par Marvel movie. You know what I mean?
Well, I would say because like I think that special does exactly what they wanted it to do, which is let's make a
Absolutely.
modern version of MMPR, and it is exactly that. That is just what it is.
That's perfect. God, I love it. See,
Yeah.
I was actually watching. I've been rewatching a lot of the Marvel movies just because I'm bored, and
Right.
I finally decided to sit down. Like, man, Endgame is terrible, but that'll be a discussion for another day. I ended up watching last night. I started watching The Winter Soldier,
Ooh,
and
very nice.
that movie is still my favorite Marvel movie. Man, like it brings the twists. You know, every time you think you know
Yeah.
what's going on, something else happens. Right. So
Yeah.
going off of that, what do you think is the biggest plot twist in Ranger history?
Biggest plot twist in Ranger
Yeah.
history.
Oh yeah. 'Cause there's been
There's
a
a
lot,
lot
right?
of yeah. There's a lot of really good ones. I'd be curious because I don't actually think that this twist is seen favorably among people. But like the Venjix thing in Beast Morphers,
Oh yeah, yeah,
I think like had I not known about it going in, it probably would have blown my fucking mind.
yeah. That's
Just
true.
because like it's such a because I do think that like as a companion piece to that season, Beast Morphers pretty good.
That's what I'm saying.
Just basically my opinion.
That's why
It's
I
not
was
as
saying,
good, but I think that like thematically they're both about on the same
yeah,
level. And I just saw this, but like Andro or Astronema being Corone, really solid plot twist.
yeah. That was
I was
one that
actually
I thought.
curious. I was actually curious, like if I were like reviewing this season, if I was reviewing In Space, would I have called that? Like just based on how they put it together.
Ooh, that's
I
a
don't
good
know. I don't
question.
know. I don't know.
I don't know either.
So
Especially since
yeah,
that stuff isn't in Mega Ranger, you know. So for them to
yeah,
build
that's
that
true.
from the ground up and make her like the
Yeah,
big bad of the season, that's a pretty good twist.
yeah.
And actually, hilariously, Venjix was the photo that was used when I found that question on Reddit.
Oh yeah,
So I
yeah.
do think that's a good one. I think
It's a pretty
you
solid
know,
one for sure.
I think
I think
Mezagog is a
having like
really really good one.
villains having villains come back. I think that that Power Rangers has been pretty good about bringing villains back. Goldar notwithstanding, I don't know why this show doesn't understand, or the Power Rangers doesn't understand Goldar.
I uh, see.
Like
I was gonna
he
say,
shows up as a general, but every single time he's brought back, it sucks. Because like they threw him into the 2017 movie. He's just
yeah,
a big monster at the end.
yeah,
They tried to like resurrect him for the big Dino team up in, I think it was Ninja Steel. Oh no, it was Beast Morphers that they
the
did
Beast
that.
Morphers,
They
yeah,
did the big Dino team up, and they did Goldar Maximus, and that sucked because that's not that character.
right.
And so I
Well,
just it's so weird to me that they just didn't understand like Goldar.
I feel like they held on to that character too long. Or initially, and I think that's ultimately what the problem is because when they kept him around, uh, they used him more for comedy. He lost his intimidating presence, which
Mm,
sucks because that guy was an insanely powerful general. Like he went toe to toe with Tommy and
yeah,
Jason multiple times, and we talked about
that's
that
true.
before.
Yeah, that's true.
But I do think that that's part of the problem. Although I will say, bringing back a comedic villain for comedy reasons can be done well. Sledge and Poisandra coming back at the end of Ninja Steel, I thought made the show a million
Yeah.
times better.
Well, it's funny because like you wouldn't think that Sledge would work in any kind of context,
Right.
but quite literally every time he's brought back, it's like a mic drop moment. It's exactly the thing that I said that they should have done with Heckle and Snide. Like you have to make snide, intimidating.
Right.
Otherwise, you just have a moment to where Sledge comes back and it's like, now business is picking up because this guy came back and he means business. Because I think the thing about Sledge is that regardless of all of the relationship drama and the sitcom wedding stuff, he does mean business when it gets down to it. Like he wants to kill people. Like that's his goal.
Oh yeah, when he beat down Coda and Preston in the Christmas special, that was insane. I was like, oh, what?
Yeah, dude.
I forgot.
Yeah,
I forgot what it was like to have a real villain in Ninja Steel. You know what I'm saying? Because villains are terrible. But
they wanted to do machinations.
For what?
And I think, they wanted to do the twist villain thing. You know, because Disney was really popular with the twist villain.
Were they?
Well, they do that a lot, or at least they did that a lot within like their mid-2000s run.
Daishi did not have a twist. That dude wanted to kill people.
I mean like the Disney movies, not Disney Power Rangers.
Oh. See, and that actually is a perfect lead into the next question because it irritates the crap out of me. Do you, on average, do you prefer pure evil or sympathetic villains? Because I do think Disney has a problem with sympathetic villains. Not every villain has to be freaking sympathetic. Sometimes people are just evil for the sake of being evil, and that's okay. You know?
Yeah. I think that the villains being complex is fine. I think in terms of like Power Rangers, the guys that are the most fun are the guys that are just evil.
Yes, absolutely.
Ivan Ooze, that guy's having a great time.
Yeah.
Like Lord Zed, he's having a great time. He doesn't care. He'll kill you. It's just, yeah, exactly.
Like these people just kill people.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's funny because like I was thinking about this in terms of like Ninjago, just to go back to that. Like the Ninjago has kind of really cornered the market in terms of like, let's do the understandable villain, to the point where like when they did the straight up evil bad guy, the what was it, the I forget what, the Overlord.
The Overlord, yeah.
A lot of the fan base found that lackluster because there's nothing to that guy. He just wants to destruction.
Right. I don't understand.
And compared to everybody else, it's like, boo, screw that. That we want. It's boring if you have that. But I agree. When you're going with Power Rangers, like you just need to have them have fun. They can be whatever you want them to be. But if they're having a good time, you can really sell that, because it's like wrestling, like you were saying. Like when guys go heel, they have fun with going heel.
It's always fun.
Sometimes you have people like Randy Orton or like Triple H who are just pure evil and having a great time. Vince McMahon is a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
Like he didn't have any kind of motivation. He just hated people.
Yeah.
And he was the richest motherfucker there. So he was like, fuck it. I'll do whatever the fuck I want because I am
rich bitch. Because he can.
Exactly.
It's his company.
And like, sometimes it is just that simple. I think the issue with like Power Rangers and you're right, as far as Disney was concerned, like they did want to do the more like sympathetic human side. Granted, I do think that kind of worked in their favor just for Jungle Fury, because all of those, because the thing with Daishi / Jared is he couldn't trust anybody. Every single person that he brought in to like help him fight the Rangers, they always were like, fuck this guy, I want to do this myself.
I have to stop you because it's not Daishi / Jared. It's Daishi using Jared's body. Like that's true. That's not a thing. It's not Jared being sympathetic because everybody was mean to me, so now I'm gonna crush everybody. That's not what was happening. Daishi wanted to kill everybody. He was just using Jared as a vessel because he didn't have a physical body.
That's true.
So, not the same thing. It's not like the Asarma thing where she was like brainwashed into thinking that she was somebody else, and like
for sure. Tenaya 7, same thing.
Yeah, exactly. They removed her humanity so that they could make her a more efficient killing machine. Like that's not what was happening with Jared at all. And then the fact that
No, I
Vengeance and Dark
agree.
Spectre and Daishi all had this this just
But
pure evil motivation, I really dig.
no, well, it depends because I do think you need to because space had levels. There were bad guys, but there were levels to the bad guys. Because you had like Astronema who was brainwashed. You had Ecliptor who was doing evil things, but he was a really like devoted. He was like a Dark Knight figure.
He was fiercely
Then you had
loyal to Astronema.
Darkonda who didn't care.
Yeah,
Darkonda didn't care. He just wanted destruction, mayhem. He
yeah,
was going to use people regardless of what they were doing, what they were talking about. And then you even
right.
have the B episode of that season where it's talking about the morality of monsters versus like some of the more evil bad guy stuff. So like I do think like when we got to that point and we could like explore stuff like that, like that's fun.
And I do think
But
Space
for
has probably some of the best villains in Power Rangers history, right?
for sure,
Like,
yeah.
but they haven't come up yet. But the Psycho Rangers are phenomenal, man. Like they're the
Yeah,
coolest,
yeah.
and they're another set of people who are just like, let's fuck shit up, you know.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
really dig it.
Well, it was even to the point to where like they started losing because they were all individual monsters and each of them were like I could do this.
Yeah,
I don't need these guys here with me. These guys are jabronis. I don't need these guys.
Five Fingers of Poison. But
Yes, yes,
out of
yes.
that, off of that question, just real quickly, if the Psycho Rangers had Zords and like a Megazord, what do you think it would look like?
Mhm.
What would they be?
Dragons.
Ooh, that's probably true. Actually,
Yeah, yeah.
they'd be dragons. All of
Be like
them.
a weird like evil serpent looking thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like the Thunder Dragon Zord, but like more Serpentera style.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, not quite as
Absolutely.
fucking
Absolutely. That's
gigantic,
how you
but
do
yeah,
it.
that's fair. That's fair. All right,
Yeah.
let me see that. Yeah, you know what? Let's get this one out of the way because this one's gonna be a weird question that I think it's a cool question. Don't get me wrong, I like the question a lot, but there's just a lot to go through to get to this. What's your
Uh,
favorite quote from the entire franchise?
favorite quote from the franchise.
Yeah, yeah,
There's so many good ones
yeah,
of the franchise though.
yeah.
This so I now you got me thinking because I got two of them and they're both the same character.
All
One of them
right.
doesn't count because you brought this up earlier. I really like when Master Mao
Yeah,
asks Casey if he's doing this for Jared or if he's redeeming himself, and he
yeah,
doesn't respond.
yeah.
I love that he doesn't say anything and he just
It's
keeps
so
on
good,
going. Like
so good.
it's not expressly a quote, but like I just love the fact that he doesn't say anything. So you might not count that, but I think that that's fantastic.
I think
And the
it
other
works,
one,
but I love that scene.
if we're gonna count things that like just characters say, I do think that like I'm sorry Porker. Apparently, I didn't deliver in uniform is a great line. Like one of the most
That
badass
makes me
things I've
laugh
ever heard. I've ever
for
heard
sure.
anybody say. Yeah, it's just
See,
a solid Red Ranger line.
going off of what you said, just because Homeboy is having so much fun, I got to go with an Ivan Ooze quote because
Yeah,
man, he like you were saying, he's having a blast. And no, it's not "fuck
there's
you,
so many good
grasshopper."
ones.
My favorite one
There's
is
so many good ones.
definitely. Oh, where's my autograph book? God damn it! It's the best.
It's
It's
really
so
it's a
good.
good one, especially for the time that movie came out and how Power Rangers was like the biggest thing in '95. To
Right.
have the villain be like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun," and then he just was like, "I don't even care. I'll leave these guys with you, and they'll deal with you, and I'll just do whatever I want."
Yeah, and I love that. And
That's a good one though.
I do also dig that he's just kind of by himself. Like it's he eventually does get Goldar, and I don't remember the pig one's name, to be like
Yeah,
his henchman, but like, and he makes the Tengu warriors and his own little oozlets and all that stuff, but
Yeah.
really on his own. And that, I think, was actually a misstep for the 2017 Power Rangers movie, making Rita this like standalone villain. Like, she's supposed to have a crew with her.
That's a good point, actually. If they'd have given her like the court like she had in the show, that probably would have worked better for sure.
That's what I'm thinking. Like,
Would have at least given us
especially
more fight scenes instead of just the putty fight that we got at the end.
at the very least, get her Finster. Like, he's the one who makes the monsters. Come on, man. But
Yeah.
that does
Yeah.
kind of lead into the question: does the main universe have its own version of Sledge and his crew?
Yes.
They do, right?
Well,
Who is it?
because they transferred dimensions, right? So they have like he's just in the main universe. Like he goes from his universe into the main universe.
They're not in the main universe.
They are
get to
though.
Ninja Steel.
They are though.
They're not though.
Because there's so much
And Ninja
iconography.
Steel exists in a
Even
universe
though
where Power Rangers are evil.
that's maybe it's the same. Maybe it's the alternate dimension that Toei went to in Ninja Storm.
Like
Where Power
there's a
Rangers
lot
are
of
like
crossover.
actually
Like,
evil.
that's why Wes comes in with the transportal device, because they have to get to their universe from the main universe.
That's a good point. I mean, if it would make more sense if they're all coming from different universes rather than just Coda and just Gemma.
Right.
So I mean and the fact that Power Rangers barely references Ninja Steel after the fact. Yeah, I mean there's kind of there's a lot that you can take from that, I think.
And their evil is what I take away from it. That's really just that's it.
But as far as like the main universe, like it is just Zed and Rita.
Yeah.
Like that's the answer.
No, that's not true. Oh yeah. For Sledge, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, it's clearly Sledge and Rita, and then Finster is Wrench,
Yeah,
and so on and so forth.
It's exactly the same.
Yeah, and it's awesome. I really dig it. And that kind of leads into the next thing. What two Rangers, we don't necessarily have to say Rangers, but that's just how the question is written. What two Rangers or Ranger characters, for my little modification there, that were not written as, but would make a great romantic pairing? We talked about this back in on the Valentine's Day episode briefly, but we were trying to do more of Ranger couples that actually existed. This is more of like, what two characters do you think would make a great pairing?
Well, I mean, we talked about Adam and Tanya.
Yeah,
I think that would have been fun if they did actually pulled the trigger on that one.
that's true.
We haven't actually talked about this. We haven't actually talked about this, but Adam and Rocky getting together in the comics. Which, yeah, I don't know about that one.
I don't either.
Just because I don't know if that fits those characters.
It definitely feels like we're so woke, guys.
Exactly.
Look
Yeah,
how
it's more of like a progressive brownie points thing rather than like an actual like this makes sense. We'll just do it kind of situation. You know,
it doesn't have to make sense. Little Mermaid, Mother of God. I'm sorry, dude. I cannot stand when people do that. Like, Trinity's gay now. Great. What does it add to the character exactly? Absolutely nothing.
Well, that's what my opinion's been. Like, if you're gonna do it, you got to write to it. So otherwise, it's just there for no reason. Like Levi and Brody being brothers, that is no bearing on the plot whatsoever. It's just background story stuff because we don't do anything with it after the whole memory regain cyborg thing. You know, I'm going to sing you the song of my people. You know,
yeah. It's not like Dylan and Tanaya. Like, that matters to the story.
Exactly. Yeah.
And of course, I'll tell you the moment that I really started to hate on it. It has nothing to do with Power Rangers. Child's Play 2019. Why is Andy deaf?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It
It has
doesn't
nothing to do
do.
with.
They don't use it
It has
at
nothing to do
all.
with anything. Yeah.
It never even comes up. Like, who cares?
Well, they wanted to do the earpiece thing. That's why they wanted to do. They wanted to have Chucky's voice be in his head
But they didn't.
because it was like subversive or whatever. Because everybody thinks
It
he's
was
crazy
supposed to be,
or
but it
something.
never.
Yeah,
It never came out that way, man.
that's
Everything
true.
is
That's
wrong with
true.
that movie, though. But whatever. I'm not gonna. It's just gonna piss me off.
But what were you saying? You said a Ranger couple that you would want to see get
Oh
together.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Two characters that I think would have made a great couple that they didn't really write on it, and it certainly never came to fruition. I'm gonna go with Phineas and Lily.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that yeah, yeah. I remember
Yeah,
you talking about that. Yeah, for sure.
yeah. No, dude, it's
Absolutely.
just
Well, there was that moment, right? She calls him cute at one point. I want to say
that's what
that
I'm
that happened.
saying.
Yeah,
They never pull the trigger, and they never actually build on it for any particular reason. But like that's kind of Mystic Force in a nutshell. But they
yeah, yeah,
Hilton Henderson and Holly Shanahan are so good on screen together all the time. So
yeah. They have really good chemistry. That's why
yeah,
I think that's probably why they paired them up a few seasons later because they were
yeah,
like, this really kind of works. So let's
yeah.
just do it. Yeah,
Let's just
or
do
let's
it.
do something similar. Yeah.
Yeah, it was close enough.
She might have actually been pushing for it considering what they did with Camille.
Oh yeah, yeah, maybe. But that never really comes to fruition either. It's
Hmm.
just kind of implicit in the way that their characters end up at the end of the show. They don't. It's not like they like hold hands or whatever. God damn it, Mike and Emily.
Well, no, he carried her at one point. You remember?
I'm
No, I
talking about
don't
at the
remember.
end of the show. No, I remember.
No,
I've
I
seen
know, I know,
Jungle
I know.
Fury at least 6 times.
No, I was talking about Samurai. He
Uh,
carried her at one point. Yeah,
no, I sure don't remember
yeah.
that. Samurai is a terrible show, but anyway.
Yeah, so it's like that scene in Scott Pilgrim where they ask him about knives and he's like, I don't know. She hugged me
Yeah.
once. That's Mike and Emily.
Yeah, absolutely it is. You know who else I think would make actually a great couple?
Who's that?
Oh man, it's kind of hard to say, but I think Coda and Kendall.
That you know what? That would have been pretty interesting to see if
Right.
they'd had actually done that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that could have worked.
Yeah, I agree. Because they're
Like
they're total opposites.
they're total
And so to see
opposites,
them
and
kind of it'd
they're
be
kind
like
of fascinated. They're kind of fascinated by
that
each other in
that's
in
true.
different
Yeah.
ways. Like Kendall kind of feels responsible for Coda, and Coda is fiercely loyal to her. So like I can see that working.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point, man. I never thought about that, but it's kind of like what they did with it's kind of like the opposite of what they did with Dr. K and Ziggy.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because Dr. K and Ziggy, we talked about it on the Valentine's Day, but she's fascinated by the fact that he's an idiot and finds
Exactly.
joy in the simplest things. And he just wants her to have fun. Like he knows that she
Yeah.
needs to cut loose.
Yeah. Trauma and all that stuff.
Yeah. 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 And he just likes taking care of people. And that's Ziggy's character in a nutshell. But yeah, Coda and Kendall, I think it could have worked. Um, Speaking of Kendall, being our second ever Purple Ranger, what do you think of the alternate Ranger colors that we've gotten over recent years?
I would really have appreciated it if they spread them out. Because a lot of the stuff, because
What
I
are
do
you
think
talking about?
that Power Rangers got into this mode of like we got to make sure that the Sixth Rangers are gold and silver, or some variation of gold and silver, and
Right.
then we threw a bunch of random colors into Dino Charge. So I
Yeah.
think if they just spread them out to where it's a little bit more, so it's not so married to like gold and silver. It has to be gold and silver. If they did a little bit more variety, I think that would have been fun.
Jungle Fury's Sixth Ranger was a gold or was a purple and a white Ranger.
Well,
They don't
technically,
get
their
it.
Six Rangers were the Masters, but that's neither here nor there.
Are they? I'm
Number
pretty sure
six,
that'd be Nemo Rangers are there.
number 6, 7, and 8. I'm
No,
just
it
strictly
doesn't
going
count.
based off of numbers. I know, it doesn't count, but I'm just saying.
It doesn't count. Once they have, when they only have 3, it doesn't count.
Well, because like that was the last time I think we did that, right?
What?
Because like Jungle Fury was the last time we did like 6 Rangers just being like another color, or a primary color, Because after that, that's when we dive into like the silver and gold and silver and gold and silver and gold stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, you can argue Dino Charge, I think, especially since
I mean, so they had 10 Rangers, but they stuck with the same like 6 Ranger formula. So
yeah,
it was literally just the core 5 and then Sir Ivan. So
and then the rest.
exactly,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, you could argue that Philip filled the Sixth Ranger role, when he was there.
Exactly. He wasn't there a whole lot, but it happens sometimes for
And
sure.
then you had Tyler's dad, who didn't even want to be there for some
Yeah, no,
reason.
he was putting in the time, trying to see
Any
how much of
chance,
this community service he could do, and then just leave.
yeah, any chance he had to not be there, he was like, "I'll see you." Jesus
Yeah.
Christ! But uh,
Who wants to
I
traverse
think
the swamps of Nagir? I'll do it. Anything that gets me away from here.
I do think they did fall into this hole of really Gold Rangers being the Sixth Rangers.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, they did throw in,
Granted, I
Super
do
Mega
think that
Silver.
Steel is great. Probably my favorite Silver Ranger.
Okay. Well, see, here's the question: where does Robo Knight fall?
I would say he's Silver.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't even think he qualifies as a Ranger.
They call him a Ranger. They say he's the Sixth Ranger.
They should. They do, but that's not true.
We'll get into this later because I have a list of all of the Power Rangers. So when we do the Ranger Rumble
Yeah.
matchup, yeah,
Yeah, stick around for the Ranger Rumble matches because that's going to be a fun discussion.
yeah,
We're
we're,
going to
we're
take
just
a
gonna
whole
do
bunch.
one, but it'll be fun. Yeah, it'll be
We're
fun.
only going to do one. Okay, whatever.
Just for now, just for now. It'll be a series. We'll do one at the end of each of these streams going forward because I just think it'll be fun.
I'm very excited. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Speaking of colors, what do you think is the in-universe reason why Dino Charge, Dino Fury, Cosmic Fury didn't have a Yellow Ranger?
Hmm.
Especially considering
Ah.
that when you only have a 3 Ranger team, it's usually the
Mhm.
primary colors. They don't get a Pink Ranger.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I think so.
So
My
it should
big
be
theory
like
for
a given.
this,
Uh-huh.
my big theory for this is that pink is more powerful.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
He did say
is
that,
that
yeah.
like there's an argument to be made that pink rangers specifically are stronger than most ranger colors
Because
because when you go stuff like because that's what Zordon tells Kimberly when she goes back in time. Whatever, too much pink energy is dangerous. We all took that to mean okay. Well, if you use the same power set, that's dangerous. But that's not true because we see a lot of times certain rangers facing off against either a clone of themselves or like going off against the same colors, and it doesn't really cause that much damage. But he said pink rangers specifically, and the fact that Amelia was able to graduate from like pink to red, even though that's some writing nonsense.
that didn't
And
make any sense.
so I do think that there's an argument to be made, especially with like Jen and going off by herself, and she still has her morpher with her, but she's alone. And the same thing with Kimberly in the comics when she becomes the Ranger Slayer. Like there's an argument to be made that the
Okay.
Pink Ranger powers by themselves are stronger than like even the full team, maybe.
I was gonna say, do you think they're stronger than like the red powers?
Yes, I would say so.
Interesting. Okay.
Just because like from MMPR, like especially when when Rocky replaces Jason, and then when you get into Time Force and Jen is like clearly the leader
Right.
of the team.
And
Like
with,
they're
like we
yeah,
talked
for
about
sure.
before, she gets her ass kicked repeatedly, but still doesn't die. Right.
Yes.
Like, even though Rancic killed Alex in the first episode, he doesn't even come close when he
That's
fights
a good point.
Jen
Yeah,
one on
that's a good
one.
point. I do
So
think that
weird.
Rancic as a villain is stronger than most villains. Like
Yes.
you don't think about it because he presents as a human. He's a mutant, but he presents as a
Right.
human. But if you actually look at like how many like hand-to-hand combat fights that guy had, his
Yeah,
intensity and how lucky the Rangers were to get out of there alive, it rivals even Zed. So like that's impressive.
that's true. That's true. But Zed really wasn't a hands-on kind of villain. He had
Yeah.
people for that. You know?
That's true. Yeah, it bored him. He was like One Punch Man. Like I could, but where's the fun?
Yeah. What is the point?
Exactly.
Well, okay. So going off of
That's
that
why I
pink,
think like yeah. Keep going.
going off of the pink conversation, just for a second. What do you think is the lore behind why Corone showed up as Lost Galaxy Pink in the Legend battle instead of Kendricks?
I think that
I have a theory.
well, I know you have a theory, and I think that yours and my theory is probably the same. But I would say that after having been killed, in
Yep.
an act to sacrifice yourself for someone, I think that did a lot. Because, like, we saw, and again, just to bring it back, I know I've talked about this a lot, but for Ninjago, right? When they saw,
Happy
when they
Power Rangers
saw,
Day.
it's the same show, dude. It's the same show.
I
But
know.
when they saw Zane sacrifice himself to defeat the Overlord, that man, all those guys were in a rough mental state.
That's true.
Like to look at that and be like, okay, this is the cost. Like this is the risk that you are signing up for. And I
Yeah.
think I know that Kendricks came back for the team up with Lightspeed Rescue, but I
Yep.
think like after that she probably hung it up. Like after having witnessed like dying and then probably meeting the Morphin Masters who resurrected her or something.
Oh, so you do think it was the green Morphin Master that brought her back to life on Miranoi after she
I,
exploded?
I I think so. I mean, my more fun, like, because my theory has been that like, may the power protect you encompasses all of that. If you are killed in battle, you're kind of like imbued into the morpher, which is what happened in Once and Always when Min was accepted by the
Yeah,
the saber-tooth tiger dragon coin or
that's
saber-tooth
true.
tiger coin. So I kind of like that more as like an explanation, except for or outside of the Morphin Masters did everything stuff. But that's what I would assume is like after all that stuff, and Corone, I think she was game for it because like yes, she came in to fill the role, but like her brother's a Power Ranger
Yeah.
and her boyfriend's a Power Ranger, assuming they're still together, but her boyfriend's a Power Ranger. Like
Assuming he's still alive.
it's a huge thing. It's probably been like a core aspect of her life, for like a really long time. You gotta the Power Rangers, man,
You think it's like a
and
redemption kind of thing for her?
eh, it's, in some ways, I don't think it's that. I don't think it's to that point once we get to the legendary battle where she says, "I love being a Power Ranger." I think she's gone.
Okay.
I think she's gotten through that and like accepted like this is who she is.
Yeah.
But maybe I mean I'm sure that fanfic probably exists somewhere of her like adventures as the Galaxy Pink and all that.
Yeah,
That's
I
another
mean,
one though. Like you were saying, Rancic killed Alex. That's just a thing that happened.
yeah.
And uh, Kendricks was killed also, but guess what? She came back. So Pink Ranger
Alex came back
powers,
too, but that was more time travel science. It's
time
not
travel
really.
shenanigans. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Not the powers saving him for sure.
Right. Not like what happened to Billy in the 2017 movie.
Yeah, exactly.
So I get it to a degree. All
Yeah, yeah.
right. All right. Well, I am unfortunately down to my last question.
Oh, okay, good. This has been fun though. I've been having
No,
a
yeah.
great time with this.
I think the Reddit has had a lot of really good questions, and even if I made some fun of some of them, it's been a great discussion so far. But this one I was
Yeah, yeah.
saving for
I've
last.
this great time.
This one I was saving for last, and this is more of like a excuse me, excuse me. I'm dying. I'm gonna die before the end of this stream.
Oh no.
All right. This is a something of a conditional question but I think in broad terms, if you had to explain it in broad terms to somebody who's never seen Power Rangers before, what happens to Ranger teams after their series end? Do they stop being Power Rangers? Do they go back to their normal lives? Do they have normal lives after that? Are they like veterans of some kind, where they meet up every now and again to have a beer?
This is a great question. Interesting question. I think it depends. Um,
That's what I'm
that's
saying.
kind of the
Broad terms.
broad. That
Broad
is
terms.
so broad terms. I would say because like we were saying, it depends on like the time, right?
It's
I think
circumstantial.
at I think at this point they keep being Rangers.
Yeah, I think so
Like
too.
after the season's over, like they keep being Power Rangers. There have been some instances of Rangers giving up their powers, but for the most part, those guys still are ready for action. And I
Yeah,
think history has kind of proven that that's the case to the point where Tommy like created a task force of Rangers to protect the planet against Draven, Count Draven,
yeah.
evil bad guy, Dimension Man.
Well, also the fact that Keeper kept the Dino Charge Rangers bonded to their energems, which I guess means that they don't age.
That's a good point, actually. I didn't think about that, but that's a good point. Yeah, they wouldn't have been able to.
Right.
God, if they ever bring Brendan Mejia back, he's gonna have to do some weird like Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator explanation bullshit for like, hey, I'm older because of this reason.
Yeah.
Of course, they could just put a scar on the energem and be like, yeah,
Steven
the
Universe style.
aging the aging thing, it stopped working at that point, but I can still morph.
Yeah.
I think
I
that
can still
that
pull it
would be
off.
fun for sure. Exactly.
I can see Brendan Mejia taking on a mantle like that.
I I didn't finish it. There was a fanfic that I read, and this was years ago, detailing what happened to Tommy post Turbo up until Dino Thunder. I am curious, like what, because he obviously hung it up at some point, but as far as like when that point was, I'm not sure. Because I think in 2002, like he was using the Zeonizer for
Oh.
Forever Red. But
Oh
he,
yeah, yeah,
but when we get to Dino Thunder, he's like, it's clear he hasn't been a ranger for at least a little bit.
yeah. When he was a kid.
Well, yeah, I know. It's been a while, but that's what I'm saying is like as far as because I think it's only like a 2 year span. I mean, granted, you could say that it's longer,
Yeah.
depending. But you know, it's just interesting to think about because it's clear that like when he decided to do the weird Dino Planet thinger, he hung it up at that point. I'd
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
curious what the maybe it was the destruction of Serpentera and realizing that like Serpentera's gone, Zed and Rita are gone,
There are
Goldar's
so
been
many other Ranger
disintegrated.
teams out now.
There's no need for me to keep doing this.
So,
Granted, when we get to Once and Always, and they're still like it's that special very much clearly paints the picture that the Rangers never stopped. Like they kept
yeah.
doing this
Yeah.
for the past like 30 years, like the
Yeah.
original MMPR team.
And I do think that because they were the first team, they kind of feel this responsibility to
Yeah,
always
yeah, yeah,
be there for the planet Earth, and I do think that for a
for
long
sure.
time they thought that they were alone. But I think you're right. When Wild Force came around, we did Forever Red. Then Tommy being able to see, oh, there's so many different Ranger teams out there now. I don't have to do this anymore.
Exactly. And he, like, to be fair, he was also in semi-retirement at the beginning of that special anyway.
Right.
So even though he had the Zeonizer, he was like hanging out at the Bulk and Skull Resort or whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, but yeah, the general consensus is that they keep going.
Yeah. I don't think it's something that you necessarily walk away from unless you die in battle,
right?
like Hendrix did. He was
unless you die. Well, yeah, because I think that was like she probably would have felt an obligation had Corone not been there. And she's been like, well, I know that these powers chose you. I trust you. And then they did like the whole Pink Ranger handoff thing that happened between Kat and Kim. It just happened with Kendricks and Corone. Again, Pink Ranger's powers being stronger than like most people.
Yeah. I don't want to give Sarah that much credit. Anyway.
I agree. She
I know.
this is a broader conversation. But is she the worst?
Yes. I was thinking about it on the way over here, because I do think it boils down to like her, Mac, Will, Nick,
that's
Maddie, because she's just kind of there. She doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. Like, because at least Rose was useful to the team.
Sometimes, yeah. She's not the worst. Absolutely not.
Yeah,
but I do think that the fact that Sarah is malicious a lot of times in her motivation, yeah, she's at the top. She's the worst. She's the worst person to ever put on.
That's a good point. She's got a lot of selfish motivation when it comes to that. By the way, as far as we're talking about lines, I do think that like one of the best Pink Ranger lines is "Let's make spaces Final Frontier." It's such a great play on words. It's such a great play on words. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I can just imagine Jen talk about I could do this all day.
Exactly.
I gotta finish Winter Soldier anyway.
It's a great movie, dude. I think a lot of people would agree with you that it's their favorite. It's either that one or it's Infinity War.
Infinity War doesn't count. It's a separate thing.
That's a fair point. But anyway, since you're done with the questions, let's go into this Ranger matchup. So I've listed a lot of Rangers. You and I kind of had this conversation when we were rewatching Dino Fury when Mick shows up and he mentions the fact that there's like 40 plus Rangers all around the world.
He says that he got photos with over 40 Rangers in his travels.
And so we kind of we were thinking about like how many Rangers there actually are, and so I decided to list them all off here, and we're just going to do a randomizer, and we're going to pair two Rangers up against each other, and they're going to fight, and we're going to kind of discuss who wins in this fight. Now, we've kind of so the number that I landed on was 159.
Woof! That's a lot of Rangers.
That's a lot. But there's a lot of so I added a lot of the like bad guy teams because they are technically like the Psycho Rangers are added in there. The five fingers of poison, I think they count because they have more forms as far as regular forms. And they're color coded. I mean, it kind of works.
It makes sense.
The Magna Defender and Mike are two different entries, even though they occupy the same powers. So it just kind of depends, right?
Yeah.
And I think I came up with we're gonna
Royal Rumble randomizer.
Exactly. So
Ranger Rumble randomizer. Sorry.
There you go, Ranger Rumble randomizer.
Yeah.
The triple R. Now let me just find my
we don't have a logo for it yet.
Yeah, no, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. I didn't know we were going to be doing this today, but this is apropos for Power Rangers Day.
Yes, very. I think at least.
I
Let
think
me
so.
let me make sure that the threshold. Okay, so I have the threshold at 159. So let's go ahead and randomize her. And if we go with rangers that are multiple powers, then we'll have to
Okay.
um,
We'll
we'll
flip a
figure out
coin or
another way in
something.
order to determine them. But we'll see how this goes. So let's see. Ranger number 1 is number 98 on the list.
All right.
That corresponds to RJ. Shit.
Yes.
That's a great pick. That's a great pick for a fight. Damn. All right, well, let's see what
The Jungle
happens.
Fury Wolf Ranger going 1-on-1 with.
32.
Oh gosh.
That is Kai Chen, the
Whoa.
Lost
Oh.
Galaxy Blue Ranger.
Ooh, who would win in a
So,
fight? Okay.
who would
Let's,
win in a fight? So, it
can
is
we?
animal based. It is
Yeah.
animal based because it is wolf versus gorilla.
Yeah.
And they both adopt fighting styles associated with those animals. So, this is actually going to be really fun. So, what do
A
you think?
Gingeril. Well,
Exactly.
can we
King
go ahead and acknowledge the fact that these two would never fight
No, no,
under
no, no,
any
for sure.
like the circumstances would have to be incredibly specific for this fight to actually take place. But
Well, okay. Let's say that Kai has the Deviat controlling collar thing that he had in Lost
oh,
Galaxy when he fought up against Damon.
okay,
Let's
all
say
right,
let's say that's the scenario that
okay,
he's being mind controlled and he's facing off against RJ. Who
okay.
wins
Well,
that fight?
in just pure combat ability, I'm giving
Yeah.
it to RJ.
Yeah, it's tough for me to think that Kai has any semblance of a chance. Like the best he's got is to use the sword, but I feel like RJ would be very adept at
Yeah,
disarming him fairly quickly.
yeah,
Especially
absolutely.
because like his dad was a swordsman. I feel like he
That's what I was
knows
gonna say.
how to disarm a guy with a sword.
That's what I was gonna say. He's seen it done a few times. He's like, I could do that, but
Yeah.
also being that in this situation, Kai being brainwashed, uh, RJ would have the advantage of being like clear headed.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Like if we were to flip the script, if like RJ's wolf form attacked Kai for
Oh,
some
that's
reason,
yeah.
I'm still giving it to RJ.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even in that sense, like muscle memory is still a thing,
Yeah, that's
you know?
true. And like him being that like animalistic creature, like, and admittedly, Kai is one of the best Blue Rangers ever.
Yeah, he's pretty solid.
Absolutely. He's up there, top five for sure.
Not
At
really
least
great
for
at the
me.
combat stuff, I would say, as far as like
Yeah. Well,
I
he's
wouldn't
a
say he's known for like being the fighter guy. So
yeah.
that's
He's
kind
a
of the way that's the reason I give the edge to RJ because RJ is incredibly skilled. He is a master of kung
yeah.
fu. He'd be able to take him down for sure, I think.
Yeah. I think
Like
so
pretty
too.
quickly too, I think.
I mean, yeah. It kind of depends. Like RJ,
Yeah.
he doesn't want to fight. He'll pull his punches
Absolutely
a lot of the
not.
time. So like,
Yeah.
but when he's pushed to the brink, like if he absolutely has to, yeah, he's taking that guy down.
Yeah, yeah.
No doubt about it. Damn, I was really hoping for a Space Ranger
Yeah, we'll have
against
to
RJ.
see next. We'll have to see next time, man, because that was a lot of fun
Yeah,
though.
that was
I'm
great.
glad because the last couple times I ran that, it was kind of it's like Rangers I didn't have strong opinions on, so I'm glad that for that one we got a good matchup going. But
Yeah,
yeah, definitely
I,
let us know
I'm
in
sorry
the
it wasn't that
comments
great
who
a
you guys would
discussion.
expect to win. But yeah,
Yeah. Let us know why, because there's not really a whole lot to say about why RJ would lose to Kai. It
yeah,
just wouldn't happen.
RJ losing a fight is just a very tough sell in and of itself.
That's true. Like the only reason Daishi beat the shit out of him is because he wanted him to fight back, and he wasn't going to give him what he wanted.
I mean, he wasn't going to do it.
Yeah.
He still
So
got his chakras messed with or whatever.
yeah,
A wolf
yeah,
spirit.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Spirit of the Wolf. and it's awesome.
But anyway, yeah. We'll try to do these more regularly, but this was a lot of fun. I did enjoy this quite a bit. So be sure to leave your comments, questions of your own if you want to. We'll answer them for sure.
That's true.
On the next live stream. But yeah, just definitely let us know. But for now, I'm Nick,
Thanks for
aka
joining us.
IronBet 1993,
I'm Ice Chip Andy.
and may the power chamber protect you.
Spirit of the Wolf.